Oh, hello. I yeah hit the button a little bit earlier than I planned. Anyway, hello and welcome back to my channel. Um, my name is Heather, and I am an, an author, editor, and artist. Um, and as a writer, my focus has been on writing creative um, creative writing, basically, over the last several years. I'm also an editor, and I'm also an artist. So what ties the three of those things together is my love of fantasy and science fiction. Um, so on this channel, however, my focus is going to be on art, and I've done a couple of live streams. I do think now on this channel. Um, so, however, I am having a few technical difficulties today. Um, um, but I think I'm going to still go ahead and do a quick stream anyway, and we'll see what happens. See if I can get my I use my iPad to show what I'm working on while I'm working. Usually when I do this, but if I can't get it to work, maybe we can just hang out a little bit and do some things. Um, excuse me. So primarily, I am a mixed media artist. Excuse me. I do sometimes like to draw. Um, and so when I'm using mixed media, I tend to use things like watercolors. I really love water-based media like watercolor and gouache and watercolor inks. Excuse me, I'm gonna have to get some water. Um, and so I also love using gel presses. So this art that you see around me, that was made. Pardon me. That was made using watercolors of various strengths. And then they were flicked on a gel press and with a fan brush, and water was also applied in the same way. And I took a piece of watercolor paper and I applied it, smoothed it, and then I peeled it off, and that's what I got. So I've been using that in these. This background was used, excuse me, create this to create my current branding. I'm switching from some different branding. Um, I had some business cards made a few years ago that also had a typewriter on it because I, um, in a way, I'm primarily a writer and editor, but also um, I do also make art, and I have actually done a couple of demos in person, and so that was a lot of fun. And hello to anybody watching. Also, thank you very much for watching. If you do catch this, live. Um, let's see. Yeah. So maybe what I will do is I will um, I think I might step away to see if I can get my other camera to work. But again, if I can, if I'm not able to work through my technical difficulties, then we can just hang out and chat, I suppose. Um, so yeah. Um, so um, so yeah, I can answer any questions. Those yeah, I'm sorry. I can answer any questions anyone might have if you come in. Um, let's see. One thing I was really wanting to use today was some moon masks that Lavinia Stamps makes, and how I've been working with them. They're pretty new. I'm pretty new to that specific product, um, but I do like using them, and I want to use them more to create moons, and you can use them with inks. I was also just using one the other day. I was just kind of messing around while I was listening to something, and so I used, and just messing around. So I've used them with inks to create these moons, and I was just kind of messing around with some blue inks. And I made a twin sunset sort of, just messing around with that with some inks. Those are distress oxide inks. But yeah, I was messing around with watercolor with one of those. They come in the I made this with the mask. This sun looks like a sunset. Try to make it look like a sunset. Um, yeah. I have an interest in creating creating um, a a binary sunset scene. That so as you can see, I'm a Star Wars fan, so that's something I have been wanting to do. Been kicking around that idea for some time, and so yeah, I wanted to use those today, and I was also drawing this heart here that I wanted to then I wanted to then proceed to cut out, and making my own little mask there. And I just used some stencils that I've had for a while. So if you guys would like, anybody watching here would like, I can just show you what the masks look like, and um, maybe what I could also do is turn this around, and if my laptop, if my iPad isn't working where I can show you as I work, I can at least change where I am, and so people can see at least me doing some things, making some art. Please let me know. Um, so, um, yeah, let's see. So I might actually hold on one moment. Let me see if I can get my iPad. Let me see if I can get this to work. So again, I apologize for issues, technical issues. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get this to work. So hold on one moment here. All right. Oh, shoot, I'm sorry. Okay. So, what? So, all right. So, I'm just not going to do that at the moment. I need to work out some bugs, some technical bugs. But I do apologize to anybody who might have come in while I'm live on this channel today. Um, so let me just try something else. um, let me see. Hold on one moment. Okay. So I guess I'm just gonna keep keep on trucking. I hope anybody who might be watching can see and hear me better. Um, but if I still have some trouble, then I'll um, just do this another time and just start back, in a couple weeks. The first week, let's see. Okay, 1 second. Ordinarily, I stream here. I have live streams here. The first and third Thursdays of the month. I have been doing 2 to 4 lately. So I'm going to stick with that. I think that works for me. I hope that that works for anybody who might like to watch. Also, I what was I going to say? We'll be putting some content on this channel as well that I really would like to do. You probably can't see that. I have so much blurred. I have so much blur going on. Let me see if I can change that. I don't think that's working very well. That's too much blur. Can't I? I think I can change that. Let me see here. Okay. At least you can see my some of my art supplies. You definitely can see my hubby's some of my hubby's things in the background. Okay, I'm just knocking things over. But I think you can see me better now. And some of my supplies here. Let's see. So yeah, so I do sometimes work with stencils. So this is the package that the moon masks come in. There are let's see, there's 3 of the circle masks, and then there's 2 that are they're masking the background but not the circle itself, and that's what I used in my watercolor journal that I showed a little bit ago. So maybe what I'll do is just work on these masks some more while I'm still on. I think so maybe I'll just kind of do some piddling here with some more of these. Okay, let's see. I also like using just a variety of stencils. I have one of these, which actually I've used in the past for some backgrounds. And I also like to, of course, use stamps. I've talked about them before. Oh, here we go. We just got it. There we go. Here we go. So yeah, so like I was explaining, here is that part. This is this mask here that I was talking about earlier. I used that for the smaller ones, for these here. And then with these, the ink is applied to the area around it. So those are very handy for making the basic image of a moon. They've fallen out of the packaging because there's a slit in the side of it. So it fell into this where I'm storing my stencils. So here's also some other of my favorite stencils. I think they're really cool. I really like them. You can see that. Moon and Stars. I think that one's really cool. This is a Hero Arts set. So yes. And they do pair up very well. So you can use one of them, and then, you can apply whatever you're using, inks or paint, and then do a second layer with the second stencil, and it looks really nice. They look really nice together. So what I can do is you can take any, if you have a background with an ink, if you apply an ink on, say, here's a couple of distress oxides right in front of me. So if I let's see, if I take a background, I've got some brush up here, and I can even use, well, let's see. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. I'm going to use this journal again. Let's see. So if I create a background in a darker color, or even the same color, I have a color here. It's called Fossilized Amber. It's a yellow. It's make sure I have the appropriate brush here. Applying with with one of those makeup brushes you get at the Dollar Tree, because basically let's see. So if I create a background by brushing it on, spring that with a bit of water. Let's see. And take something to mop a bit of that up. I'm going to take a cotton round. Just basic cotton round like that. Lift a bit of that. That's a nice little background. And then kind of letting it dry a bit. Okay, then I'm going to take this one here. This should be I think that's the 2.5-inch circle mask. Putting it down. Then I'm going to take the same brush, the same ink on it. It still has some on it. And then I'm just going to take it in a circular motion, mostly going away from the, and I'm just holding it on like this. I really wish I could show this in a better way, but, and I'm just going in a circular motion, but starting from the mask itself. Getting some more. So you can even, like I say, use the same ink, and I'm just lightly brushing it in a circle, going around and around, and just applying it little by little, and you're going to get a moon-like result. And I'm just kind of going in circles around it. I decided to use the back of this watercolor paper because it's a little bit on the bumpy side. It's 140-pound paper, so it is a little bumpy. It's not as bumpy as some, of course. It's not terribly heavyweight, excuse me. It's not terribly heavyweight, so the thicker it gets, the bumpier it tends to be. Okay, and I'm removing it. And that is kind of cool looking, if I do say so myself. So then you get a moon. So yeah, I think that's very cool. I've been watching people do it on YouTube for a while, and I finally got the set of moon masks not too long ago, and I'm really starting to enjoy playing with them. So again, like I say, that could even be a sunset, in a particular scene. And I can even take, get that off that other brush because that's my browns. Not that it really matters too much, because it's in a sort of a similar color range, but my jar. But anyway, I think that makes for a really, really cool looking background. Yeah. And, I could stamp on that. So yeah, I can make I could, have some branches come down. I do have some branch stamps. Oh, that might be a good idea. Let's see here. All right, let's see here. So, keep track of my masks here, my new masks. Let me get 1 moment.
August 19th.
So I have my collection of stamps. Most of these are Lavinia stamps. So let's see. I was thinking about some branches hanging down. I also have of course, some of their mushrooms that could be even on the bottom, but I think this is a sky scene, so So, so I have a tiny branch. I think that I'm gonna try that just to try it. See if I can get that to make sure that's completely dry. Looks like it. Sorry about that. I got a notification. Right. Off on there, and I'm going to. I'm trying to decide if I want to use a black or a dark brown. I think I might use a dark brown.
Okay. And can I verify the address?
So,
PO Box 9.
so let's see. I don't know what I need to do. I'm a little bit. If this stream doesn't turn out the way I want it, I might just delete it and see how it goes. Okay. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm kind of thinking brown. So I have this great brown ink. It's called the main maker is Sisenko. I do believe it's pronounced, and their VersaFine products are really great. This one is the original VersaFine, not VersaFine Claire, but that's even better for details. But I don't mind this one at all. This is pigment ink, and this color is vintage sepia, which I've used so much, but it still works just fine. I've had it for years. This is one of the first stamping inks I ever got. And I think I'm going to try it on just a piece of copy paper first. Like one of these or something. To get some straight ink on the stamping block, but that can just be wiped off. Let's see. Okay, so if I have these branches coming down into the scene, Oops, I moved it. Oh well. I'm just gonna see. I said that earlier that it seemed to be doing fine, but it does seem to be a little. Let's see. The great thing about these sorts of stamps is that they can be rotated and to make the branch look a little differently. Anyway, it's just a play. It's just a play, right? I'm having a play with my stamps and things. Not coming out the way I really wanted, but it's fine. Whoops, I put my finger in it. But anyway, you kind of get the. Whoa, I knocked something over. But you basically get the gist of what I'm trying to do. So let's see. But I have seen many images, many pieces, mixed media pieces on Lavinia stamps with similar techniques. And so you know what? I'm just going to take a quick break and I'll be right back. So, anyway, I apologize for having to kind of put you guys on hold there. Um, let's see, 1 second. Um, so anyway, I'm trying to get some assistance with the technical issues I had. Um, so let me try. Let me see if I can do this. Um, let me try something. Hold on 1 second, folks. Hi, Diane. Hi, Diane. Hi, Diane. Hi, Diane. Oh, goodness. I don't know. Yeah, it's whatever. Vibrating. Is that what you call it? Or reverberating? Uh, laptop is muted. I've also just moved the laptop. Oh, that's awful. God, I'm so deleting this. That is awful. Sound turned down. Do you think that might help? I turned the laptop sound down. and even the last time I did this, there was some where I could hear it, from the laptop, and it was distracting, but I could basically do what I was doing. Um, that fixed it. So you don't hear me twice. Okay, if it's only a slight echo, I guess that's all right. Thank you so much for coming in, Diane. I really appreciate it. Um, but oh, that's okay. Don't worry. I might just delete this stream. I did try to do something earlier, showing how you can use a moon mask, how to use masks in mixed media. So, I mean, this isn't much, just to, because I have those Lavinia Moon Masks. This is just a couple of them of the set. Take notes. That's what I need. Yes, you are so right. I need to take notes. So anyway, I was trying to say that I have a fascination currently with masks and using them to make scenes and things. But another issue I was having was trying to block out the other phone conversation that's going on in the. It's what you have to do. Yeah. Yeah. So. Oh look, a pen. um. So basically, I'm muting the laptop. But not the iPad. Oh my goodness. I don't get enough practice doing it, Um, so the only thing is, maybe what I can do is, maybe what I can do is move this and close the, 1 second.
Alejandro Del Rio.
Okay. So, how are you doing today, Diane? So for anybody who is watching, so sorry for the technical issues. I'm just not used to using both my laptop and my iPad for streaming. But anyway, can you see all the awards, Diane, that are behind me that my husband won? He's a runner, as you can tell. So he has a lot of um, medals for participating in different running events. So anyway, so I'm in our bedroom, and Currently, that's where my art desk is, and I think I really do have to stream in here just to keep the background noise to a minimum. Um, I'm also going to be start streaming in here, Diane, from yeah, uh-huh. Yeah. He loves running, and he hasn't been able to, and he's not happy about that. But um yeah, so I'll be streaming in here if I'm not sure about Tuesday yet for the other channel. But once we get everything situated in here, I'll start, you know, start streaming in here. Actually, I just did that Tuesday, but I had the background all blurred because there was just a lot going on in here. So anyway, um, one thing I'll be doing this weekend is working on that. So, and then while my son's out of school next week. So, yeah. So for anybody, if I do keep this video up, uh, um, I I have actually three YouTube channels. Um, One is the first one I created was for um, participating in AuthorTube, and because I'm a writer and I've been a writer my whole life, but I've also been sort of a little bit of an artist my whole life. I've always been very interested in drawing, but I just never really had a lot of training in it. Um, that said, it wasn't until I was in my late 20s I started doing um, really started doing more things for myself where I was learning about a lot of stuff. Um, um, I started doing photography, and I really started, um, you know, doing writing and photography and just creating because I'd always had an interest in it. And so Um, yeah, I was just reading some of your comments again. I've never seen Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, but it sounds so cool. Because I did have Netflix for a little while, and so when I had it, I kept seeing commercials for it, and I just didn't get around to seeing it. But it does look great. Um, but but so yeah, yeah. And then the hats are from um, baseball. Um, my son and my husband, they do. It's a version of Little League. It's called the Little League Challenger Division. It's for kids with individuals, I should say, individuals with disabilities. So just got to an episode where her mother went to her first life drawing class. Oh, okay. And then hilarity ensues. Um, so yeah, that I bet that's pretty funny. It that show was definitely inspired by women comedians of the 50s and 60s. There really weren't any for the longest time, and then I know it has a lot. I think it mirrors all of that, like with Lucille Ball and all of the um, and the and the lady stand up comedians like what's her name Joan, what's her name? I forgot right now. She about fainted. That's funny. But I'm gonna um, wipe these off. Um, I have made. By the way, I've used these to make bookmarks. Maybe I can. Darn it! I also think I wasn't as prepared as I could have been with this. Joan Rivers, thank you. Because I remember Joan Rivers, you know, I think it's kind of modeled after her a little bit because when she started, um, I've seen recorded bits that she did. I think she might have been the first woman comedian on Ed. Wait, oh shoot, what was that called? Wow, I'm drawing a blank. Um, the 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 show that the Beatles were on. It, oh boy, my brain today. I can't think of names today. I can't remember the name of the show. The guy he hosted and I think anyway. Sorry, I think Joan Rivers was the first woman comedian on that show. So there's a larger one. This is very similar to this, and I would say this is 2.5 inches. It comes with there's three of these. There's one that's even smaller. So that's one and two. There's one other, and I've misplaced it, but and then there's one of these masks, and then there's one more that's bigger. So, you know, for the price, it's not that bad. The acetate is very thick. Ed Sullivan, thank you. It's Ed Sullivan, yes. But I think Joan Rivers was the first woman comedian to be on Ed Sullivan. And he had a lot of comedians on the Ed Sullivan show. But I've seen lots of old clips from it in the past. I also, you know what I saw recently, like, I don't know, a couple months ago, because we had bought a couple of CDs of Beatles music for summer things we were doing in the summer because we went to go visit family and stuff, and so I was curious about some things, and I was just looking some things up about the Beatles, and oh goodness, the Beatles, not the Beatles, but the the other one, the that's still going. The Monkees, and how they were supposed to be America's answer to the Beatles. And there's a lot of things about how they were created and things, because apparently Davy Jones was actually the day that the Beatles appeared on Ed Sullivan, he appeared on Ed Sullivan. So I did not know that. I thought that was interesting. Anyway, sorry you can't stay longer. That's fine. That's fine. Don't worry. But thank you very much for coming in and saying hi and stuff. So anyway, I'll probably start wrapping things up pretty soon anyway. Thank you for coming, Diane, and assisting. But so yeah. So anyway, this was a good chance to do some practicing anyway of working with masks, and I will be cutting this mask out. So Diane, I drew a heart on a piece of paper with a stencil, and I'll be cutting that out. And so, but I'm going to keep both the heart, the piece of paper with the heart, but the piece of paper, you know, the negative image. So I'll be doing that momentarily. Where's my cutting that? Here we go. There's always a pair of scissors around. It's all good. Thanks. Thanks. So I think I'll just keep plugging away and cut out this handmade mask here. So yeah, so I like, you can use masks with a lot of things, paints or inks or whatever. When I first started making art again, are you welcome? Okay. Thanks. One of the first things I started using was watercolor, because I kept hearing so many cool things about it, and I was drawn to it. So yeah, I just cut this out, and then I'm going to fold it over where the middle of the heart is, and cut that, like in kindergarten. Fold that over, cut that, and then I'll, like I say, I'll keep both parts. And so what I'm thinking of is using this to create backgrounds, both. That you can use that for so many different things. It's really, and I'll have to do the same thing with some cardstock. Because it'll last longer. But what's great about having something more lightweight as opposed to that plastic stencil is it's flexible. It could wrap around a candle. And that's one thing I want to do is make art on candles. You can stamp an image on tissue paper, and then on wax paper, and then you can, when you apply heat to this image, it will basically melt into the wax of the candle. And I actually am going to be doing that sometime very soon. Actually, I might do that for my next art stream. You know what? That might be a good idea. Let me know if you like that idea. Anybody that might be still watching. I saw it done where somebody used where they used something like this, and where they use a mask like this to make a background on it. And again, it'll wrap around the candle very well. That's what I want to do. Well, for a candle this small, I would need a smaller one, obviously, but on a nice, big, tall, thick candle, that would be great, And it would wrap around very nicely, and you can make that background. So, but I could use this part of it to do something similar. I could tape that down if I wanted, and then use the same principle. And you could even take just any color. You could take a reddish color and get a pink, but you could use any color. And also, one thing I was thinking of using these with is one of my gel presses, because I have a 4-inch gel press, and I bet that would be great. It's a 4-inch round gel press, which is where it's close by. It's close by anyway. So that's one thing that I wanted to do. So. will do is take this. And just take a piece of paper, any piece of paper. Actually, I'm going to use the negative instead of that mask, because they're both really masks. Let's see. And just kind of just do a little practice in here on, let's see, I have a piece of cardstock here. Take the white, the smooth side. Test this brush here. Lost my, let's see. If I take that fossilized amber again, let me try something. Take the fossilized amber, and I'm picking that up. Let's see. And it's just a spare piece of cardstock, so I'm gonna make this one. Maybe you can see what I'm doing. Sorry. some of it off in the lid. I'm not wasting the ink. If you can see what I'm doing. Oops. But, you know, this is basically working, but, yes, I want to try this on my gel presses by using something like this with my gel presses. And so I lift that off, and you have a background that you could stamp inside. And I could keep this and just put it back on top, and it would also work like a mask if I wanted to do something with a stamp like this, where it's in some, you know, it is called, I believe this one is field grass, where you don't want to show the whole bit of the stem, but just a portion of it, especially with a small um, sized background like this. You'll want to have something that's where you're only seeing part of it, only seeing a part of it. So, but it could still be useful for um, creating some foliage on, you know, in the foreground, and then having, oh, I don't know, you could have like a bird, like a tiny bird flying in or something like that, or a butterfly or something. And so, yeah, now I have a little background. So, yeah. So I can get that a little closer to the camera. Another issue I was having earlier was with I was having an issue with my tripod. My tripod is not cooperating for the most part. It's been part of it broke, and it's just been having, I've just been having problems with it. I think I'm going to need to get a new one pretty soon. But anyway, I kind of like how that looks. I might add, you know what, I think I'm going to add a little bit more to the very bottom. It could be a little bit blended a little bit better. And you can just pop it back on. There we go. I'm just going to add just a tiny bit more to the very bottom here, just to have a sharper So, Thanksgiving is next week. And I will be spending some time with family. Well, that looks a little better. You know, if this was pink, it would kind of look like the I Love Lucy background in a way. So that's not too bad. Could be better, could be worse. And then you can just reapply until you get the look you're going for. Add a little bit more in a couple of spots. Having it darker at the very edge does tend to look very nice. Yeah, you know, that's pretty good. And then let me see about possibly putting some, again, that's fossilized amber, Swiss oxide. You can use a blend of a couple of different related colors. I do like using these two together, the fossilized amber and mustard seed. And these are the two I use. Um, well, actually, for those suns I showed earlier, actually I'm wrong. I used mustard seed and I used this one here. I used spiced marmalade. It's a gray orange color. All three of these can be used together for a variety of purposes. But yeah, I'm really getting interested in using masks and such. Yeah, I find it fascinating, and I was really doing a lot of research on it. A couple of weeks ago, let's see, where's that? Oh, here we go. I'm just going to pop this on the other side of this. On second thought, I'll take that off. So I can fit my stamp on here. Right. I'm going to try it in the same ink I was using before, Versifying, in Vintage Sepia. I'm going to try it. Yeah, there's two very similar stamps that Lavinia makes, and I do believe this is one is orchard grass and one is meadow grass. I do believe this is meadow grass. They're very similar images. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. So, putting the mask back down because it's such a large. This is the large. I'm pretty sure there's a smaller one. So I'm gonna see. See about there. So I've got that on there, and I'll just use. And again, you can turn if you want. Again, I'm just going to try not to rock. Yes. I'm not going to move it, but I'm just going to, yeah, see that masked that off very nicely. Okay. Just going to move, so I can get that. There we go. All right, I'm going to do that again. I mean, I could use the because I've already removed some ink, I could always use it like that, but I'm not sure I'm going to do that right now. So I could always go back in, and that for some people like to do that, and it creates a sense of depth. I'm just going to make sure all the little seed heads there are nice and covered. Just making sure. Okay. So I don't want the image to look too similar. So I'm trying to see if I can make it look a little bit different. Try not to move it. Push down, let it soak in to the cardstock, and lift. Not too bad, maybe, question mark. And yeah, you could do something like this with a variety of different shapes of masks. And so far, that doesn't look too bad. I'll lift this up without moving everything. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do at least one more. I also have a couple of other different bits of foliage stamps. Let's see, is after 3:30. Ordinarily, I am live from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern on Fridays, like I said earlier, the first and third Fridays of the month. Not quite sure how much I'm going to put on this time, but I was thinking of just using the very tops of the stamp, so that again it just at least looks like variety. So they kind of look like different plants. In a way, I kind of do want to do a second, the second stamping. But I don't think I'm going to do that. Remove some of this. I'm pushing, I'm leaving it on, I'm pushing. Remove it. Actually, that doesn't look terrible. And, Bob's your uncle. And you have a little design. I love these stamps because there's so much detail. I'm going to move this over so I can get this in the shot of the of my other camera here. Maybe I'll cut this down. Oops, I'm sorry. I almost think it needs another one, but you know, it's okay. Trying to decide if I want to do another one. But like I say, I also have some other foliage. I have let's see. I have things like mushrooms, little delicate mushrooms might be a good fit there. These are called slender mushrooms, mini. It's in a small size, right? The smallest size. I also have some lavender, because, lavender. So lavender. And then that's a pretty recent, these three were a very recent purchase. And then I have these called woodland fern. I have seen images like this, or mixed media like this, where you get a scene and then people use either like these grasses or they'll use the lavender, and those really make good fillers for it, because in a way I feel like it does need something else. But what's great about them is that these are made, the design is made so that it can be used at a variety of angles, and where you don't have to buy a lot of stamps. With minimal supplies, you can make a nice little, something that would be great on a card. I could easily cut this out and apply to a card, even the way it is, probably, and I think it's not that bad. It might be something like that. Might be nice to like take to a relative's for Thanksgiving, and it kind of has a fall vibe to it. I guess I still have fall on the brain, even though I know I should probably get started on my Christmas cards. I do like making Christmas cards for folks. Let's open up this. Open up this lavender, but I do need to do one thing real quick. So hold on 1 second. I do need to do one more thing. One second while I step away. So, but I think an image like that is pretty seasonless, really. You could use it for lots of things, you know. You could even create a Christmassy scene if you really wanted. So I'm just here looking at some supplies. Let's see, this is okay. You know, that makes me think about some of, you know, some of the stamps that that company makes, Lavinia Stamps, are of fairies. And actually, you know, I wonder about one of maybe having a fairy fly into the scene. Just so a little bit go. Or we could have, okay, I do have a dragonfly. This set here is called Fairy Bugs, and kind of hard to see with that. There's a lot of ink on them, so they're. I had taken these to a demo last year at a con that I attended. It's called Necronomicon Tampa, and so that was my first big demo. And some kids were playing with them, and they got used a little too much ink, and they're pretty coated, but they're completely fine. I wonder about the dragonfly, because this is very small. It's a very small stamp, so that might work really well. Or you could have this stamp here, this stamp set here. It is called Foliage Set 2. And these are really nice. I do really like the leaves and the dandelion seed head there. It could maybe float around in the sky. I'm thinking about that pretty hard too. And this could go on a small card base, like a I would say that's 3 inches wide. So I would say on maybe a 4.5 inch card base. I think that would work really well. Let's see. I have something here. I can measure it. I would say this heart is almost exactly 3.5 inches wide. I was right. So yeah, it's a little less than that. So I think that would work pretty well on a 4-inch card base. So yeah, I could use, so again, using these masks is great. You can pop this back on and add more foliage, or you If you want to have something hanging in from the top, vines or branches or something, that would work. But if you don't want to, that's cool. Get this back up out where it was. There we go. But yeah, that might be fun, having the seed heads float around in the sky, or just having the my lavender. I'm still not exactly sure I'm putting the lavender in, but yeah, the seed head might be kind of cool, because that's, again, that's a pretty tiny stamp as well. I'm going to maybe finish this off real quick before I go. And just using the same color and not bothering having another color going on. I think that's a good thing. It keeps it simple. I've seen that done a lot. Let's see. To put that where it goes. This leaf. Okay. And then pull that off. Pop this on my stamp block. I'm not even bothering putting things away just yet. Let me see. And just, again, using the Versamark. No, using the VersaFine. That's a whole other ink. Whoa. And just having everything in profile. I do, one reason why I like their stamps is that most of them are in profile, and it's just, when I started seeing the tutorials rather on YouTube, I just thought there was something about them that I really liked. I've always enjoyed, watching light change after sunset, where the trees are in profile, and I don't know, I've always just enjoyed that sort of thing. So I just have to figure out how this is going to fly in the sky. I guess I'll have a couple, or at least one. Maybe a little off center might be good, I'm thinking. Okay, that might do. I might just leave it as it is and just keep it simple. And then, like I say, just cut that off. Cut that down to have a smallish image, and pop that on a small card. So I think I might do that. And just, I think I know some people who might enjoy something like this. And have a little handmade gift to give somebody. Um, let's see. Um, so I think I'll be doing that momentarily. I'll be cutting that down. Here's one of the. So again, I'm really liking working with masks these days. Um, I've misplaced some things. But. So anyway, as you can see, I really enjoy working with Lavinia stamps, and I'm liking making masks and using prepared masks that you can use over and over and over again. Um, so thank you very much for watching, and so like I said, I normally stream here on this channel, do live art work on on Fridays, on the first and third Fridays of the month. And I will. I'm also very interested um, in posting more filmed content. I know I haven't done very much with that yet, but this is a very new channel, so I'm hoping that that hoping for um, more content like that. If you're interested in tutorials specifically geared towards gel presses, I would love to do that. You know, you can let me know in the comments below. Um, I hope you liked this video. I did have some glitches, but um, a lovely lady by the name of Diane Dobson Barton came in and, and helped me, as I am quite new to streaming this way. Um, let's see. I know I have a few more minutes, but let's see. I also have, like I said earlier, I do also have another channel where I do I do live um, productivity streams, where you can come in and do work for work and work for school, or whatever it is that you want to do. I do that on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 2. I mean, to from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. I also have a third channel, but I don't do much streaming with that. Um, uh, that said, it's a basically it's a family vlog channel, and but there's some things on there. So my link tree is below. So if you're interested in any of the things I'm talking about, if you want again film tutorials showing some of the things that I do, I would love to do that for you. Um, um, so yeah, I again, I love working with gel presses and watercolor. I do sometimes like using stamps where you color in um, the image. I have a couple of things here on my desk actually that I've done in the past. So here is here is a stamped image I made. I don't know, it's probably been about a year ago, that I colored, and I enjoy working with that stamp. There are a few of Lavinia stamps that you can do that with, and and here is one. They do have several tree stamps, and this is one, and this is I just love this one. I think it's amazing. The level of detail um, is just amazing. I love it. So this I have not put on a card, but I didn't really care for how the top came out, but I really enjoyed coloring this, and so I just love the idea of these fairies gathering at this tree, getting ready. I think they're going to a party or something. But I just love this stamp. I think it's really cool. It's called Druids Inn, and like a tavern inn. Yeah, I really enjoyed doing that. And I have another one that I have colored, and that I'm going to see about using um, um, on a card. Yeah, so I like making cards and bookmarks primarily. I do have a couple of other things that I've made that are larger. Um, and maybe I will do some filming and show how I made those things. Um, so it is almost 4 o'clock, so I am going to go. Thank you very much for anybody who came in. Um, Thank you for watching. And I'm going to try this again. Let's see. The last week of November. All right. Well, excuse me. I'm sorry. The first week of December, the first Friday in December, I'll be back. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for coming. And if you did like this video, please hit the like button. Um, and um, um, and you can hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Um, and so I'm going to try and have more content soon. All right, well, have a great day, everybody.